Yeah, just very excited, and I can't wait to get going. And I think a big reason why I wanted to come here was just talking to Coach Clifford, talking to Coach Sallis on the phone. After having multiple conversations, just felt like this was going to be a great fit for me. So, very excited.
All right, we'll open it up for Q&A. Please wait for a microphone. Please give your name and affiliation so Jeremy knows who you're talking to.
Jeremy, Matt Ruczynski. I hit all the hard-hitting questions from Hornets.com, so let's get ready for these.
All right.
Just talk to us a little bit about Rich Cho flew out there to sign you the first day of free agency. What did that mean to you to have the Hornets really invest that much and make that sort of an effort to get out there right away?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, my whole free agency process, Charlotte kind of came in much later in the process, but it was very clear that they really wanted me to be here and they really believed in me. And that's another example. I had just decided with my family, and then I did some workouts, and then I had a celebration dinner. And when my dinner was done, he was already calling me like, "Hey, can I come to your house?" I was like, "All right, sure." So he came to my parents' house and I signed the papers right there. And I was just like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." Because he was in Orlando, I believe. So yeah, definitely that's just one example.
Richard Walker, Gaston Gazette newspaper. Jeremy, what was your impression of Charlotte before this came about? And obviously, as you coach talked about, they do need shooting playmaker. Brady's your shot. I'm assuming you feel like that's something you can provide this team.
Yeah, I've always told
They do need shooting playmaker. Brady's your shot. I'm assuming you feel like that's something you can provide this team.
Yeah, I've always told my friends on the West Coast, nothing about Charlotte, even before I signed here, was that Charlotte was one of my favorite cities just to go to. Just it seemed it reminded me a lot of Palo Alto, just like an East Coast version of Palo Alto, where I grew up. So definitely excited, and I'm still learning more. I've already figured out the NASCAR and the fishing and the hunting and the culinary school. So, and then in terms of just basketball stuff, yeah, I think one thing that I really have been missing, or something that I've always really wanted, is just to be able to get back to what I feel like makes me who I am as a player, which is just trying to be aggressive, playmaking, always on the attack, always charging towards the rim, and I think that's going to create easier shots for this team, and I think there's definitely a huge area in which I can kind of fit in nicely, and the way that Coach and I have already kind of talked about how to be used. Well, first, having a conversation on how to be used already is something that hasn't happened with me all the time in the past, so just having that open line of communication early and being proactive about it, that was very big for me.
Hey, Jeremy, Rick Bonnell with the Charlotte Observer. I'm curious, the sort of the journey you've gone through, from being a street free agent to being a phenomenon in New York to being a starter in Houston to LA to here. I'm just kind of curious at this point in your career, what's your perception of where you're at, where you want to be, what you think your niche is in the league as a whole?
Yeah, I think a big part of if you compare me, 3-4 years ago till now, I think a lot of the areas in which people kind of attacked my game in New York, which was mainly defense, turnovers, shooting, and going left. I think if you look year to year, all those have, the turnovers have gone down, the three-point percentage has gone up, going left. Actually, I was a lot more efficient going left last year, and a lot of ice situations going right. And defense has gone up every year as well. And I think those are the things that keep me optimistic and positive, because a lot of other things have kind of gone down, whether it's playing time or just the stats in general. And so I do believe I am a more refined player, more all-around player. I do think the work that I've put in has made me better. I just don't think I've had the same fit or opportunity, and that doesn't mean that I don't have a ton of areas to get better at, because I do. But I think one thing that I want to do is just kind of see how close I can get to reaching my full potential. And I think in order to do that, it takes a lot of work on my end, and it also takes finding the right situation, the right coach, or the right system. And I think this is a huge step in the right direction. I I don't know what my limit is. I don't know how good I can be, but my goal is to find out.
And I would add to that, it's funny, I was reading this morning, just going over some